welcome to All Things Property with Rach. Today, I actually don't know what we're going to be talking about. Charlotte does all our photography and media, social media and marketing. So there was just a few things that she said she's picked up on, not being from a property background, that questions that have come through via social media or that we've been asked when we've been out looking at properties and taking pictures. So yeah, Charlotte is going to ask me questions. Yeah. I actually haven't seen them until today, so hopefully
like you can handle these.
Hopefully I know the answers. If not, definitely look out for our bloopers for this one, because there might be quite a lot.
So having not been from the property background and being a photographer, it's all sugar and light and everything. I've noticed quite a lot of negativity, not towards Miss Rachie Rose, but it is estate agents in general. I noticed a lot of negativity. So I'm going to hit Rach with some horrible questions. So my name's Dave. No, I'm joking. No, I don't like estate agents. This is common. I don't like estate agents.
This is very common. And contrary to popular belief, we're not actually a breed of our own. Like, there's not an estate agency breed of person.
Factory we come from.
Yeah. No, that's not true. So everybody works differently. Everybody speaks to people differently. Everybody has a different persona. So where some people work for a corporate company, they might have set targets and things that they have to hit and a set way of doing things. Somebody that's independent has a bit more of a free reign. So it really is. You can't ban. I don't like estate agencies. I don't think. I think it's more a case of, if you've had a bad experience, maybe don't use that estate agent themselves, or even the company. If you know that estate agent that you've had a bad experience with has left, it still might be worth speaking to the company again, because it would be a different agent that you're dealing with. Myself personally, as a personal estate agent, that's how I like to get to know people and their property. It's a huge privilege to be invited into somebody's home. Not only is your house your biggest asset financially, but emotionally too. You put more into your home generally than you do your home and your family, than you do anything else. So it's a huge privilege, and it should be treated like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Another one that we get, that I see, I can sell my house on my own. I don't need an estate agent.
Lots of people do think this, and actually in the current market where there is such a high demand and low supply, you could probably sell your home on your own. You could physically find yourself a buyer. The problem is that isn't the whole process. That's just a very small part of it. Obviously there's the background things as an agent that you do with regards to the person that's made an offer on your property, so the anti-money laundering checks, the proof of funds, getting their decision in principle, and having all that information so that you know that person can actually proceed.
Amount of money you're going to spend, isn't
massively
it? So if you're happy to trust someone,
that, you've got to make sure that side of things is done. And then obviously once that's all tied up, it's then dealing with solicitors, lenders. You need to know and have the experience on how the process runs, what comes first, what should be happening now, any problems that have arisen. I definitely, by no means saying I've seen every property every problem that can come up in a property sale.
Yeah, I'm literally looking every day. What to look out for.
There's so many things, and the more experience somebody has, the more likely they are to spot that pitfall and have had experience in dealing with it beforehand as well. So it is a big job to take on your own.
Yeah. We have had a kind of indirect one on this, is that you don't have a shop front on the high street. So why would we use you over someone that does?
Obviously, the more traditional agents do have a shop front. You are able to call in there. Well, obviously, COVID permitting at the moment. I know some shops are still limiting people and having appointments, but actually there is no need to have a shop front now. Obviously we market on Rightmove, Zoopla, so from that side of things, obviously it's online and we're contacting people through there. We come out to see you in your home. We're there on exchange and completion to hand over keys for you. We collect them, we drop and hand them over. And being that I haven't got a shop front, I'm not limited. I'm not a 9 till 5. If it works for you to call me at 8 o'clock in the evening when you're home from work or when you put the kids to bed, that's absolutely fine. You call my personal mobile. You don't call a shop or an office number. And it comes through
a chain of people.
No, and it comes through to me directly. So if you've got a problem, you can text me, you can voice note me, you can WhatsApp me. I can pick that up wherever I am, whether I'm sitting at swimming, watching my little boy swim, or whether I'm here working, wherever I am, I can pick up that message and I can be dealing with that and get back to you in a time that is convenient for you. So if you've got 5 minutes in your lunch break to send me a voice note, and rather than having to wait for a call and that person be out of the office, etc., send me a voice note, 5 minutes, and I can be dealing with that in the afternoon, ready to get back to you when you finish work. So I like to be as flexible as I can, and I think not having a shop front actually helps me.
Because you would be like, we go in at 9. We start the day, whereas we don't have any of that.
No.
Yeah, definitely. So another one that we haven't got, but again I see everywhere, is you do nothing for your money.
Yes.
Nothing, right? You do nothing for your money.
Yes, this is definitely a common misconception. Obviously, running an estate agent itself, there are a lot of running costs. Having recently set up on my own, I definitely know that at the moment. The marketing, you're paying Rightmove, you're paying Zoopla, you're paying all your costs and fees for sale boards, getting the property out there to as many people as possible costs money to start with, and then it's man hours. So every property that once the sale's tied up, obviously you've got your viewing hours, but then even once the sale's tied up, every property I like to touch base every day. So all the properties in our progression folder, we look at every day. So even if it's something that maybe doesn't necessarily need a massive chase or doesn't need an update for you, you might not necessarily need an update every day, but I make sure that is running well every day, and because it takes literally one thing and there's an issue, so you need to make sure that you're on that all the time,
and you're not just to clear that, you're not just contacting one person or one couple with a property. It is their solicitors on the buyer and the seller's side, it's their mortgage broker that we're dealing with, it's everything, isn't it? You have the surveyors, so when you call that one person, that is that whole network, a group of people that Rach rings round to make sure they're all on target, all where they need to be, what needs to be. So you made it sound like a lot easier than it really is.
I guess I wouldn't even like to guess how many calls on average as a vendor that you would have from me in the time scale that we're working together. Generally it's 4 months at the moment from a sale being tied up to completion.
And that's another thing that's new to me, the money side of things, because I would go and do a photography job and I get paid. Like that's a long day time till payday.
And obviously it's a lot of work in that time to do that. So I'd say it is
a misconception.
Misconception. It is a lot of man hours, and for me that's why I don't take on loads of properties. I don't want to be the biggest. I have a set amount that I know is manageable between myself and obviously Charlotte, that we can make sure we're offering a good service, and we're making sure we're doing that touch base every day, making sure everything's running smoothly. Once we get over a certain number, I don't feel that we'll be able to offer the service
to keep
that we want to offer, and the service that our clients deserve and we talk about.
I know, hand on heart, everyone we've got at the minute is like, they know 100% you are in contact all the time. There's not that. Whereas in the past, when I've bought and sold houses, I would be the person thinking, what? It's been like literally 2 weeks, no one's called me, calling the estate agent, do you know what's going on? Then I would be bridging to make things move quicker.
Yeah, and that's definitely what I don't want. I don't want any of my vendors or buyers to be having to be proactively calling me. I want to be the proactive one. I want to be giving them an update before they know they want one, or before they know there is one, so that we can just try and stress and say, because it is stressful moving. And I think going back to one of your previous questions of can I do it on my own, I say that is a huge stress to take on for yourself if you're not experienced and you don't know what you're doing in the property market.
Exactly. Me just learning what we're doing, I think I had no idea the things that you can miss and not what to to look out for when it's going through. I didn't know half of it, so
So I think it's a lot of man hours over a long amount of time, even without the marketing costs. So I guess that's the answer for that one.
Yeah, I've got last one for you, Rachel. It is, and we've actually definitely had this, haven't we? I've had inquiries over social about this. That you're a new business, so how can you compete with big corporate established businesses?
I guess for that one I would say yes, my business is new. Unfortunately, I am old. I have been
the 40-year-old bucket list is coming.
I'm 39. I started in a estate agency when I was 16, straight from school, so that's 23 years. And I've worked in different areas of property as well, so lettings, estate agency. I've worked for online estate agency with Sarah Beanie's Tepelo up in London. So again, I've worked for a corporate and independent agencies. So I like to think actually a more established company quite often has a one way of thinking. It's worked and they stay that way, and that's just what they do. But actually, definitely in this industry,
helped you with that. Because having kids, going back to jobs, changing jobs, you've literally done.
Multitasking. Being a mum definitely helps
on the estate agency side.
Yes, and I think things have evolved so much, not just in this industry, in all industries, with social media and technology, and making that work for your business is massive. I mean, when I first started at 16, we definitely weren't recording YouTube videos. We were photocopying every property that we had on the market, stapling them together, folding them up, stuffing them in the envelopes, putting them through your franking machine, walking them down to the post office to be sent. Whereas now, in seconds, people say, "Have you got the details of this property? Have you got more information?" And ping, it's over by email. It's massively different. And I'm not saying that the bigger established agents are still doing that, sending them out by post, but it just goes to show you how it's changed in that time. And sometimes with a more established company, it's a bit more focused. And I'd like to think my experience and what I've done has actually shown me as much of what not to do as what to do. So in that time, I've sort of seen things work and seen things not work. And I think
that is the advantage of going on your own, because that was me years ago in photography. There was companies that I'd worked for way before Jess, not my last boss, he was lovely, but that I absolutely hated. It was all sell, like you felt like you were just literally robbing families that came in to have their, whereas I knew when I set up on my own, I thought I would never push anyone into buying. And you don't do that. You said there's no tie-in. It's everything, isn't it?
Yeah,
you don't
that's it.
want
All the things that I don't like long tie-in contracts. I don't like long notice periods. I want people to be with us and allow us to sell their home for them because they want us to, not because they have to, because we've signed them into a stupidly long contract. So just little bits and pieces like that actually things that I think
don't come around in a big old suit. No, sort of like we're your authority.
Yeah,
why is that? Why do estate agents wear suits? Anyone we ever sold our house, they come around in a
suit,
big old suit, and a briefcase.
A briefcase. I don't have a briefcase, and I don't have a suit. I do have a suit probably, but I don't come around and wear it with you. So just make it more personal, because I think that is the way to speak to people, and way to deal with people. That's how I would like to be dealt with.
You're not selling a car, are you? You're not going. You were selling the most personal and big thing, the biggest thing in someone's life.
Yeah, and you have to. That is a very serious and important honour, and it should be treated like that. So from that side of things,
because you're fun, you're a mum. So I think the mum side of it, you're like a dog with a bone, multitasker of all multitasking. That has got to come into it, mums. But you are, it's ridiculously caring, but phenomenally professional. Like
I've paid her to say that.
Honestly, you know your stuff. Like, she does blow my mind when we're on jobs. I'm like, don't you? You really, really know your stuff. So it is like the balance is.
Yeah, getting that right.
Yeah.
So did I pass?
I feel like you passed and you swear. Do you feel a bit sweaty?
Do you feel a bit sweaty?
I don't like estate agents. I can sell my house on my own.
Thank you so much for watching today. It's been a bit
well done, Rachel, because you didn't know what I was going to
I didn't know until today the questions. So I hope it's been a bit different today than our usual throwing loads of information at you. So as ever, if you've got any questions about any part of the process, something you'd like explained, do please leave a comment, and we'll add that to our list of things that we're going to have a chat with you about. And don't forget to like and subscribe.